What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, we are doing a VOD review from somebody who has been kind of popping off recently. Darth Nub here, sitting at 1666 LP, rank 2 on the server. Also, I didn't even realize, but this guy is a grinder. He's giving Setsuko a run for his money. Almost has as many games played there. Yes, 726 games. What an absolute beast. But yeah, I mean, if you look at his graph here, it's up and down, but recently, this last kind of streak from the February the 4th up until yesterday has been kind of crazy. A really nice streak up to 1700 LP, rank 2 here. Really pretty last 20. And the other thing, if you guys don't watch competitive TFT, is he won the EMEA Bilgewater Cup. I always want to call him Tacticians Cup, but the Bilgewater Cup. So he's going to Worlds. This is one of our reps to Worlds. We got him, we got Wei-Shin Iverson, we got some more people at some point as other cups happen. But yeah, I mean, you look through your match history, you see a lot of flex gaming, almost a different comp every single game. Yeah, just some really good stuff. So let's hop into one of his games. All right, here we are in the lobby, courtesy of MetaTFT's replay system thingy. Once again, if you guys don't know how this thing works, you can watch most of the highest ELO players in the world play, just like pull up their match history, pull up their replays, and look at everybody. Hashtag not sponsored, like actually not at all sponsored. But MetaTFT, if you're watching this, I guess you're getting most of the value for free. So, but you know, well, okay, we'll figure it out. If MetaTFT, call me. We check our Void here. It's not amazing. Have this Blitzcrank pair to start with. Are going to opt to sell the Tristana there in order to hold just all these other one costs here. We do have a Twisted Fate and an Alawi pair here, which I've talked about this many times, but I do like this this Bilge comp if you are in a spot to hit an Alawi too. I feel like that's kind of the defining factor here, so it's gonna be interesting. We'll see. Do we want to slam here onto TF to early unlock? Looks like he's gonna say, yeah, I am gonna early unlock that Graves there. So one interesting thing already is he likes this comp enough to early slam this IE and unlock Graves here. I mean, I think this Bilge comp is like serviceable, but even without the Alawi 2, he's saying, you know what, Alawi parity here, IE open, like actually it's pretty reasonable to make this slam here. Okay, first dog, backup post, crafting caretakers. I mean, it can't be crafting because we've already made an item. Caretakers I don't really love that much. Backup post I think is like fine. We don't really have any kind of like Gwinsu care or anything to start the game off with, but yeah, that does look like it should be our pickup here. And yeah, also sorry for having Nico in the team planner there. Oh god, that was like a fast 9. Yeah, don't look at that I've team plannered in there. That was a weird game. But okay, we pick up the Graves here. Gonna play 3 Bilge, and yeah, our opener is Bilgewater this game. So, and yeah, he's even going to sell off there and make the level up. I think this makes perfect sense if we are playing a Bilgewater opener here. You want to be winning, and this will hopefully get us some fight wins. I'm honestly even a little surprised he doesn't open slam the bow here, but I guess he's thinking there's actually reasonable odds that this gets punished. You know, if I slam the bow on 2 Graves and then end up making something like maybe a red buff and I want that on the TF, there's value there. All right, we pick up the Viego here, which is where the game actually gets a little bit interesting because it's pretty late actually to unlock the Yo Rick here. We'd be unlocking Shadow Isles going into 2-3. But Darth Nub at the last second decides, you know what, I am going to move the IE here, throw it onto the Viego here, and I'm going to go for the York unlock as late as 2-3. It's funny, I was doing my group Metafy coaching and somebody was like, hey, you know, when is the latest that you would unlock Yorick and like play him? And I was like, probably like 2-3, but like honestly, I wouldn't be even that excited about it because we've already lost 2 rounds of Shadow Isles. But we have the Viego 2 here. We have this board that actually fits really nicely. You can see Darth Nub is like very kind of, he's like back and forth on this, right? He wasn't even 100% sure this round. Should I field Shadow Isles and start stacking? Like you basically have to decide this round right here, what comp do we want to play the rest of the game? Do we want to stack Shadow Isles and play that? Do we want to stack Bilgewater and play that? And he opts for the Shadow Isles, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Shadow Isles have gotten a lot stronger this patch. It's interesting because the comp didn't receive any kind of direct buffs. And the only real buff it received is Ornn receiving a pretty chunky buff, which means, you know, that unit is going to be much more of a high roll later. We really do want to pick up something to slam off Carousel, by the way. I think red buff would be fine. Even Shroud would be fine as well. Kind of like red buff, yeah, just to get an item onto the Viego here. But we must slam something because we are on a 3 streak here. We even pick up a Lysandra, but Probably not going to make. You could play Yunara Lissandra. How woke should that be? Yunara Liss here, but you'd have to make your board a lot weaker to hold on to this and play this, so probably not. But yeah, I mean, outside of the Ornn buff, the only other buff that this comp may have received, and we'll see if Darth Nub does it, is there has been, and I've seen pretty reasonable evidence on Twitter.com of there being a bug with Kalista and with Vanquishers. So we'll see if Darth Nub is any kind of a bug abuser, because it is a bug that like you wouldn't normally encounter, and I don't want to encourage any kind of bug abuse. So, you know, if he does it, I guess we'll talk about it. But if he doesn't do it, we don't have to talk about it. But that is the only other reason I could see why this comp's stats would have improved so much. The other thing is just maybe matchups are easier. You know, this comp perhaps had a bad matchup into some of the comps that were strong last patch, and now has better matchups into the common comps this patch, though. I don't know. I don't think the patch meta-wise changed drastically between last patch and this patch, so that... Once again, like, it's a little bit of a mystery why this comp looks so good in the stats, but I am always a stats believer, and also just to play it yourself and, you know, see how it goes believer. And, you know, my games on this comp have gone very, very good. Item-wise for this Kalista comp, so the main thing that you want to make sure that you get to is some kind of mana item for Kalista. It's actually going to be kind of interesting because we could make the Spirit Visage Slam here. It's our best slam by far, but it does kill our tier item. So we'll see if, yeah, he is going to opt to make the slam here. So just saying, you know what? I don't need to greed for any kind of specific item. In some ways, red buff is a mana item because it's going to get her to attack faster. But yeah, that's what the stats indicate. They say, you know, you'd really like some kind of like a Shojin, ideally, that gives you a bunch of AD, a bunch of, you know, ability to cast. That is like what you're dreaming of in this comp. And then aside from that, just crit items. IE is actually fine, even though we are going to be playing Vanquisher, just because it gives you those extra stats, and, you know, the stats aren't bad. But yeah, we get our Gwen unlock here. Next, augment Fire Sale Exiles on a roll here. I wouldn't mind a Fire Sale here just to give us some kind of like econ to work with. Yeah, I would think that would be the pickup here, just because we're not that rich in this spot. Exiles is obviously a great augment, but yeah, Fire Sale giving us access to the econ that can help us actually make it to level 8, because I mean, we're level 640 here. As long as we keep winning, we should be you know, very, very good from an econ perspective. And our board looking very nice. The Yorick 2 is actually a really, really nice pickup here to just snowball our front line and allow us to play a strong board. Ooh, is this Spetham? Yeah, so this is Spetham, the other 100 streaker here. Viego does walk up a little bit, which makes me afraid he's going to take aggro. I think we're fine, though. Yeah, it was a little scary for a second, but Viego doesn't end up actually taking any aggro, so he ends up just killing off the whole board, and it's an easy dub there. The 200 streakers, no longer. We get our win here and get to continue our 100 streak. Now, the funny thing about Shadow Isles is you don't even necessarily want to be like 100 streaking, like winning every fight with this comp. I mean, obviously from an econ perspective, the 100 streak is very, very good. But, you know, Shadow Isles count every unit dying. And so, yeah, we're actually really low here on souls. Only 36 out of 70 for Kalista. You know, most games that I'm playing Shadow Isles, I'm in like the 60s range, but our board is just too strong. So we're actually not getting that many stacks. This is actually hilarious. Like, once again, this is a fight here where we have 6 units on our board. Only one of them died. And yeah, we killed off this guy's entire board, but it's just not, you know, as many stacks as you would normally get if you were having closer fights. That's what you really, really want in this comp, is closer fights. But obviously, you know, taking the win streak is good. It's not like we're gonna like int our board to get like one more soul and then lose our 100 streak. That seems like a bad idea. Gonna opt to take sword here. I mean, I guess this can just be Gunblade. I was trying to think, what would you actually make out of this rod here? And Gunblade seems fine enough. Crown Guard would have been the other, you know, like reasonable slam. But I mean, we want to make something. We're on an 8 streak here, and a Gunblade, a third item for our Viego, sounds like a pretty good slam to me. So thinking that's what we'll make if we're ever afraid of the fight at all, and we are afraid because we are fighting an Orianna. And our board's getting a little bit AoE'd by this Ori. This positioning's a little scary because, yeah, she is able to just AoE down everything and we lose the fight. Man, yeah, this is a rough fight. I think with different positioning, it's actually quite winnable. But having our melee carry just sit there right in front of the Orianna and get blown up was not ideal. So we will take our first loss on that long streak. Almost there to Kalista. Just need to get the 12 divided by 1.3 here to get her unlocked this next round, which we probably, I mean, we should be able to, as long as we don't get 10-0'd or they get 10-0'd. As long as a few units die on both sides, we should get that Kalista unlock here. But we'll see here. This guy's only level 6. Yeah, the board looks pretty bad. They killed 1. Maybe they can kill 2, 3. Okay, that's pretty good. So that was 9 units that died here, I believe. So that's either, yeah, I think that's that just barely unlocks, right? Yeah, 73 souls. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all here. So we get our unlock there. We get our Kalista in. Gonna play our 4 Shadow Isles. The nice thing about win streaking so hard is that we can actually greed this vertical Shadow Isles for a while, because it's always a question, right? When do you want to get out of super vertical Shadow Isles? Obviously, you know, early stage 4, no, but, you know, like late stage 4, early stage 5 is when you start to think about, like, okay, maybe I don't need to play these Shadow Isles units forever. Maybe I should just, you know, get out of them, play some better units, and be strong. Because, you know, if you're one life, playing an extra Viego on your board, especially at the point like this one, where you're not playing Quick Striker anymore, doesn't actually do much combat strength-wise for your board. What playing Viego does do is mean we're going to be stronger later. And so the nice thing is we can sit here on 88 HP. I mean, we could even lose every fight this stage, though hopefully we don't have to. And it wouldn't be that bad from an HP perspective. All right, let's go into last augment here. Would really like some kind of like combat, I'm thinking. I mean, nah, it can't be reinforcement. Well, I mean, I guess you could reinforcement into a tank here. I don't like it that much. I'd be looking more at something like best friends here. I mean, it depends on how AD heavy the lobby is, but like honestly, lobbies these days are not like too AP heavy usually. I mean, this is actually a reasonably AP heavy one. There's like there's like 2 AD players. I think there's this guy, and then like what else is there? Even like this one guy up here. Yeah, this guy kind of. This guy. Actually, there's kind of 3 AD. Maybe you could take best friends here. I mean, I certainly... I mean, Crown's Will could be Thresh item, but it's a little far. I wouldn't be excited about that. Yeah, he rolls here. So he's portable and is going to opt to take that. I mean, I like this a lot. There's a lot of good hits for Kalista. Sniper's Focus, I think, is the 2nd best item on her. I did have the stats pulled up here, so let me... I think I deleted the stats. All right. Let me pause. I'll be back. All right, here are the stats. Yeah, so Gold Collector, really juicy on Kalista. Obviously, a crit unit like this. But yeah, Sniper's Focus being one of the other best ones. I guess Fishbones actually beats it out by a little bit here, but... you can see actually a lot of good Ornn items onto Kalista. So, you know, even something like Mittens looks quite good. Even Luden's Tempest, that sounds pretty sick. RFC, you know, a lot of good hits here. So it makes a lot of sense that we do go for the Ornn Forge here. The only kind of funny thing is, you know, now we'll have to move one of these items, but it's actually very easy to move the red buff over to somebody like Gwen, eventually somebody like Thresh. Just going to roll down here to pick up the Seraphine, who is the obvious in on this board. And we have the Kalista too, and we get Braum paired here. Yeah, looking very, very nice, actually. And yeah, just gonna get this 4 Shadow Isle, 4 Warden board in. Disruptor, no Vank on this board right now, though it's not the most important because we do have the IE. It's just good stats for the Kalista in general. But yeah, I mean, the board should be pretty strong now. This Yorick too is really holding the line here. He's helping our front line so much, though honestly, I mean, looking at how paired up our bench is, I wouldn't be surprised if we still roll a bit more here, just because there's so much stuff left to hit, right? There's the Braum 2. The Seraphine 2 is not the biggest in terms of upgrades here. So yeah, you might actually see him say, you know what? I know I have a lot of pairs here on bench, like 3 really big pairs here, but do I really truly need to roll here? I could just make it to 9 and cap out high, play around that Thresh, which it's still going to be a little bit before we pick him up because we are, once again, kind of behind on these Shadow Isles rolls, but I mean, it's not looking like we're paying that much of a penalty for it. Like, yes, you'd love to unlock an early Thresh, you know, here instead of early stage 5. But, I mean, we're still very, very strong here. We're at 67 HP. Yeah, I mean, the spot is looking not bad at all here. Imagine we're going to take some kind of frontline item. I was looking at the chain there. I guess it could be the glove, and then that gets taken as well. So we end up taking sword here. Okay, sword for maybe a Thresh item down the line. Oh, my God. We end up actually hitting the Braum without rolling, so we can just move items over there. And now we definitely don't need to roll here. Okay. Spot's looking good. Holding on to this Nautilus as well. Not really nice unit on this board because you can help bridge the gap into some of these like Juggernauts. If you end up hitting something like a Shyvana, then you can obviously like not Shyvana on this board really easily. And you know, we don't need to be playing this Xin Zhao as our Warden. The Nautilus is, I mean, worse than a Xin Zhao too, but like very easy to make that swap. But yeah, the board should actually be really nice now. Fight this Ishtal reroller and kind of clear them. Get finally our bows here off our augment. So now I guess we can just make the GS here with the idea of it going down to Thresh eventually. So maybe that was the idea behind the sword take, is he wanted to get towards this GS. And I guess the only other thing you'd kind of really like is a Last Whisper, but you also, you know, normally could be pretty happy about throwing that onto Kalista, but now it's quite awkward because she's already got 3 items. I guess you could maybe move Gunblade to Thresh later and then LW Kalista. I don't hate that idea, but we'll see. we'll see where Mr. Noob takes this this game here. Do finally get that Thresh unlocked, so that's just going to come in over the Xin Zhao here. Or even actually, yeah, just over the Viego and play 5 Warden here. All right, so why not? Is he really actually? I mean, he's 56 HP. I guess he's thinking, yeah, like going into stage 5, I can't really afford to greed an extra unit slot that doesn't do anything. He does get the LW if he wants it here. We'll see if he does want it and what he wants to do with it. Opts to take a sword here, so he's going to make BT here for the Thresh, so a solid healing item. And then, yeah, I'm going to move the LW down here. But the only thing is, yeah, are we going to BT Gunblade Thresh? If it's a little sketchy here. Yeah, he's just going to Gunblade the Gwen for now. I mean, this Gwen unit... She's a Gwen 1, so she's not great, but I mean, we do have Disruptor active for her. I feel like she actually does do a surprising amount of work on this board. And she actually, I guess, to speak to the one thing that did get buffed about this comp, she actually did receive a pretty chunky, a decent buff, though it was more towards like Gwen carry, which you're not usually playing around Gwen so much in this comp. We do see another Kalista here, so maybe Kalista 3 Dreams are appearing before our very eyes. We'd love to go 9, though. I mean, we're 42 HP. He's going to roll it down here, looking for... I think he's really looking for Gwen, too, amongst other things, just saying, like, I have a lot of these pairs here, and I'm stuck on Gwen 1, which is just not... really it. She's holding 3 items. Yeah, I'm honestly a little surprised he doesn't want to move some items over to the Thresh, but I think he's also thinking, yeah, Thresh 1 is not that great either. So yeah, we're going to take another chunky loss here. And actually, we're very likely going to end up sacking one more, leveling on 5-5, but dropping down to basically 1 life here. So yeah, this game actually started to get really scary. Really just off the fact that we didn't hit the Gwen 2. I think if we had hit the Gwen 2 at any point, we'd be a lot stabler. And he agrees. Yeah, he's rolling deep here. Finally does pick up the Gwen here. This is big. This roll almost makes me want to give up on the Kalista dream. We'll see, though. Like, I would probably just sell these Kalistas off here, make 50, and just say, okay, we're not gonna hit Kalista 3 very likely. I think we're gonna cap out a lot more reasonably by pushing 9 next round. But I think he's gonna hold on to it. Yeah, keep the dream alive here. It's 1 gold of interest that you lose, and hey, maybe your next shop has a random Kalista in it. You know, you might still get that cash. Void Staff, yep, really nice. Thresh spreads any kind of anti MR, anti-heal, any kind of that stuff really, really nicely. And our board actually does do a decent amount of magic damage with this Kalista. Gonna sell some stuff off here. Yeah, gonna end up selling these Kalistas. Okay, so he just holds them for the 1 round, loses the 1 round of interest, but gains the upside of just having, you know, the possibility. Okay, you know, maybe we randomly hit the Kalista, or the maybe hit another Kalista there. You know, I could see it. And he is gonna move the util items down and then just put, yeah, both of the healing items onto Thresh. So just make Thresh this big healing monster here is going to sit in the middle and do crazy work, actually. Wait, he looks like a total beast here. All right, well, that's a good win here. Should get this Shyvana in on the board, right? Though it's kind of tough to fit her. You really would love to play her, but, you know, like, you obviously, we're not going to cut Piltover. You could cut, like, a Shadow Isles, but then, like, it's kind of hard to cut Yorick. He's such a beast. So, yeah, it's actually, this might end up just being our board here, just because it's kind of hard to cut this stuff. Wow, great positioning, by the way. Thresh there on the left on a little island, and then Braum just sits here and full tanks everything, so this Thresh just gets to crazy work, and actually... Wow, wait, that was really smart. He tried to kind of, like, put Thresh over to the left. Oh my god, wait, learning TFT. So his idea, I think, with that positioning, is pull a lot of the enemy units over to the Braum here, and then have Thresh on this side killing stuff, and then as Thresh kills guys, the box is going to have less than 2 enemies in it, so he's going to start pulling people in. Yo, wait, this is kind of making my... This is actually kind of like giving me a bit of a brain blast here. Like, what if... Are there some, like, crazy positioning techs with this comp? He is going to end up, yeah, dropping down here to get the... I love this. Get the Shiv and the Swain in on this board. So drop out of our Warden Juggernaut, funny enough, here, but just play 2 really, really good Juggernauts. And this is the setup here. All right. He moves the Braum back over, so he's not doing that positioning this round so much. But I don't know. That really got me thinking about, like, potential, like, Giga positioning techs in this comp. Oh my god, we're dead! Oh, well... Rest in peace, Darth Nub. That was kind of... he was 15 HP and actually just died from 15 there, right? Yeah, he just died from 15 straight up to a very strong board there. Well, a solid 3rd against a very, very stacked Void board with a Void mod, with everything. I mean, this was a decently stacked lobby, and we did get the... we did get this in later than, you know, ideal than is ideal. But I mean, I honestly think, I mean, it's a great showing from Darth Nub. Really, I really like the line selection. I really like that Thresh positioning thing. Once again, let me pull back this this fight and just show it real quick here to show what I'm talking about with this Thresh positioning thing, because it's really interesting. So like, yeah, all of these tanks are kind of like stuck over here, and all the carries are stuck over here, aggroed onto Braum, which means like the only thing I would kind of want here is maybe just put Kalista over here, below through these guys really quickly, and then have Thresh start pulling a bunch here. Because once we kill these kind of like fake tanks over here, then Thresh is going to start pulling units in. So, you know, actually his cast ends there, sadly, and then he's forced to actually walk up here. So this isn't even like kind of ideal, but he does still end up walking up, pulls in, like he's getting a ton of, he's just like insta casting here. So it's an interesting idea from Darth Nub, and overall just a very nicely navigated game. Really cool line selection here, playing this kind of like later Shadow Isles thing. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check my Twitch, my Metafy, all my other links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always.